Hey, what's up guys? Within the first 2 weeks of the 1.5 update, I managed to obtain 2 of every single item in game, including 2 tier 3 sets of both Polar and Devourer weapons. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make a lot of money in Project Slayers by flipping, and how you can trade your way up to any item you want, including champion gear. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, if you want champion gear, it will take a lot of time and dedication. So with that being said, there are 2 main things that you will need before getting started, and these are things that you cannot find in game: patience and tenacity. Tenacity is just another word for lots of determination, so once you understand that you need both to succeed, then you're ready to get started. Also, for those of you with high IQ, you can take these strategies and apply them to other games and have the same results as long as you tweak the strategies for that specific game. Alright, we're gonna split this up into 2 parts. The first part will be how to find accurate values despite values always changing. And the second part is how to identify and properly use currencies. At the end, we'll put them both together to kind of give you an idea on how to approach trades so that you can come up with your own strategy. It's important to understand that everyone trades differently, so don't try to copy the way others trade. You have to find the style that is best for you if you want to succeed. Alright, values. The first thing I will say is never ever blindly follow a list. If you have a list for prices or a trading bot that you follow, you have to get out of the habit of using those. If you did manage to find a list somewhere, then keep it on the side. That way you at least know what value some people trade for. Trading data is important, and lists can be valuable trading data. Good traders will use a known list to their advantage. You want to see how far below the list you can buy an item, and how far above the list you can sell an item. This is your profit margin. Now, I never had access to any value list in Project Slayers, so you don't actually need a list to trade. As you do trades, just take note of what people accept and decline for specific items. And if you're just gathering trading data, you don't even have to accept the trade. Just make sure to have the conversation anyways, because it's free trading data that you can use for future trades. Now, this doesn't mean just go out and buy a bunch of war fans at 7 ore and then sell them at 15 ore. That strategy works for some people, but in reality, it's just important to know what the ranges are. That way, when you have a trade with a lot of items, you can accurately tell whether your trade is a W or an L. Okay, so now that we know how to find the value of an item, we have to learn how to identify currencies. Now, I call them currencies, but in reality, these are just items with high demand. In Project Slayers, the demand for these items is so high that most people will accept any of them in replacement of another as long as you know the proper conversion. It's just like money in real life, hence the name currencies. Ore is the base currency, so you can look at this as a $1 bill. For these other currencies, you have to find their value in the same way that we learned in part 1. Now, I haven't traded in a few weeks, so my values may be slightly off, but the current prices should be somewhere around here. The easiest way to find these values is by joining the official Project Slayer trading Discord, pick your item, and use a search function to see what people are buying and selling it for. By the way, this Discord is free trading data, so definitely use it. Just don't get tripped up on the prices because they kind of vary a lot. Anyways, back to the point. If someone wants to sell you a desktop for 300 ores and you want to buy it, you can offer any of these combinations, and there's a big chance that they will accept it. If not, it's very easy to just downtrade these currencies for their base ore value. In video games with trading, most items that have high demand are either the rarest items, items that everyone uses and get consumed, or simply best in slot gear, meaning the best gear available for a particular slot. Those are the items that become currencies when the actual in-game currency has little use. Alright, before we continue, make sure you understand the last 2 sections on values and currencies. Rewatch them if you need to, because if you don't understand them, this next part will get confusing. Okay, so now we know how to value items and we understand currencies, but how do we actually make money? This part is different for everyone. When I'm trading, I don't like to restrict myself to certain items. I'm willing to do any trade as long as the trade is a W and will result in profit for me. I also am more likely to accept a trade if their trade includes any of the currencies, because I know those are easy to trade later on. For items with low demand, sometimes you can buy them with currency for very cheap because People just really want to get rid of them. Then you can turn around and flip them for large profits. This will require a bit of patience, but it's definitely possible. An important thing to remember is that everyone values items differently. Let's take a look at this trade. Given this range, if I value the items like this, it seems like an L. But if I value them like this, then suddenly it seems like a W. Don't let people trick you like this. You should value an item at the price you want to sell them at, not the value of a list or a value someone else told you. Me personally, I don't like trading polar items except bottoms, so when people add them in a trade, I will literally value them at 0. Keep in mind that you have to spend time to get trades, so if you have too many small items and you're trying to get profit on all of them, you're wasting time that could be spent on more valuable items that will result in larger profits. Since I value my small adds at 0, I never feel bad when I add them to larger trades. It makes my offer look more valuable, even though for me, I valued them all at 0. If you still don't have any big items, then it's okay if you spend time with the smaller trades. You want to first build enough value so that you can trade for it and then flip the bigger items. A good way to start building value is by flipping currencies. For example, you can buy Rengoku Hori for cheap for like 50 ores, then sell it overpriced at like 65 ores. If a rich person needs ores, they won't care to sell it for cheap. Likewise, if they need the Hori for a trade, they won't care to buy it overpriced. 15 ores is too little of a margin for them to worry about. Another thing that's very important to think about when trading is what type of person are you trading with? There are mainly 3 types of people that you would trade with. The first one is a trader. This person is just like me and you. They're gonna try their best to understand values and is looking for profit in all of their trades. These people are usually trading a lot of items at once and have specific prices that they're looking for. The second person is an item seeker. An item seeker doesn't usually care about trading too much. Sometimes they know prices, but usually these people are not too interested in trading and just have the goal of obtaining a specific item. And the last type of person you will encounter is a trading noob. These are people who want to trade but have no idea how to go about it. They don't understand values or how to make a profit. And in general, they don't really know anything about trading. Sometimes person 3 uses the encyclopedia's drop rate as a guide to know what is worth more than what. But me and you both know that doesn't really work and you can easily take advantage of this. If you come across this type of person, then send them my video because they need help. So obviously person 3 is a person you can make the most profit from. Be delicate when trading them because even though they don't know how to trade, they do understand that other people do know how to trade. So they're usually more cautious than other traders and will decline if you're too antsy or if they feel like the trade is an L. Person 2 is good for profit as well. Since they just want an item, they often don't care about overpaying. They just want to get the item as quickly as possible so they can go back to playing. Now person 1 is the hardest type of person to profit from because just like you, they're looking for profit and will usually only accept overpays. With person 1, you will usually only profit if they're selling an item for cheap. Sometimes they just have an item they want to get rid of or they need currencies for a different trade. This is why having the conversation is important because through conversation you can find out if their prices are lower than normal and then you can finesse them into a W trade. There are other ways to make money aside from flipping, like grinding Oigahara Dungeon for Wen, then trading the Wen for ores, or simply grinding tier 5 chests and then selling the items you get. But these methods should only be used to get you started. One higher level method of making money when you already have capital is buying all the materials to make a tier 3 weapon and then just make it from scratch. If you buy the tier 0 weapon at around 25 ore, you can still profit a decent amount by the time you fully upgrade and sell the weapon. There are even more complicated methods of making money, but I'll let you guys figure those out. If you manage to get a champion item, then at that point, you should focus on flipping that because since so little people have them, they have the highest profit margin. The insanely rich use Akaza sets and tier 3 weapons as currencies, so if champion items are your goal, then you should focus on getting as many of those as you can. Me personally, I stopped trading to work on my Mugen videos and haven't traded since. I was in the process of making all of these devourer weapons into tier 3. Maybe I'll finish this and do some flips to try and get a champion necklace, but nowadays, the prices are kinda crazy, I ain't gonna lie. Now, this doesn't mean you can't get rich, but it will definitely require a lot of effort. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Yo, we're at 1.3k subs, man, that's crazy. I appreciate all the love you guys been showing me. If you haven't, go check out my TikTok. The content there is kind of different. I'll play a character in which I call myself the Demon King. Now, there's so many haters, but they made my TikTok blow up, so I love my haters too. And don't worry, I read all of the comments, so I see you true fans in there too. If you guys do happen to get rich from this video, yo, slide me a champion scarf or something. I'm playing. Thank you guys. Peace.